They did not optimize this for the fucking Xbox at all, and it shows. Okay, so I have thoughts. Doom 2016 was better. Just gonna say it. Doom 2016 better. Doom Eternal did some things very right. The inclusion of the dash, the reworking of how weapons work, how you upgrade, how you get the Sentinel back, how you upgrade yourself, how you upgrade your weapons. A lot of that worked better. Doom 26 Doom Eternal is a better in a lot of mechanical ways. Okay? So let's make that clear. Doom Eternal mechanically a lot better, a lot more refined, a lot we'll leave it at that. More refined. Execution of the game, however, maybe it's because I suck, but the game had this weird ass curve where kind of like, hey, and it just went right off the roof at the end. Your last two bosses are absolutely redonkulously difficult, which is a good thing, but it's a good thing if you actually ramp up to it, right? Because the problem is it went up, and then it kind of stayed there for a little bit, then it went up a little bit, and then it stayed there, and then it just went up, just exponentially. Just was like, we're close to the end of the game. Fuck, let's make it hard as shit. Throw all the most difficult enemies that were mini bosses or bosses at some point in this game, and guess what? Now they're gonna be the most difficult part of the game. And of course they do give you. And to be fair, A, I suck. B, the Icon of Sin boss, they're giving you sword ammo over and over. You're getting BFG ammo over and over. They're basically trying to hey, you've got these badass fucking weapons, use them. And you try to. And you do. I mean, I use that sword a lot. I don't understand the story. And maybe if I read all the codex, I would get it better. But Doom 2016, there wasn't, there was story, but there wasn't, this humongous story. There was some world building, but the story was pretty straightforward. This felt like, so Doom 2016 was a reboot of sorts. It was a soft reboot. All the games in the past have happened, but we're not going to talk about them too much, right? We're going to refer to them. You got Found Inside this and blah, 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 blah. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are related to all the Doom games of the past, minus Doom 3. Because Doom 3, from all the research I've done, it's loosely canon. It's canon, but no one talks about it because it's kind of alternate universe Doom, basically, was Doom 3, right? So Doom 2016 was a soft reboot. It did a fantastic job of basically telling you, you are the Doomslayer. You kill shit. Here's your reason for killing shit. Go. We're going to fill you in with story stuff along the way. It's linear. Doom Eternal. You're the Doomslayer. Rip and tear until everything is done. Oh, your fight is, and it ends up, your fight is eternal. Meanwhile, in between, beginning and, solid. Beginning, motivation, Earth's being invaded. End, you're never going to be done fighting because you are the Doomslayer. You give people hope. Cool. In between, in between those 2 points, they tried to do stuff before Doom 2016. In fact, it seems to me like they have some stuff there that's going back into the old school Doom games, right? Like trying to fill in cracks and holes of some of the old like original Doom, like you're trying to fill in all those holes. Like this is how you became the big ass badass Doom guy. And you were this beforehand and this was your motivation for doing this, and they just tried to fit so much in there for the sake of universe building that it became too full, too convoluted, too complicated. You could not follow it unless you basically dedicate yourself to reading all the codex, reading all the shit online. And I'll be honest, I'm the kind of guy that does that, so I won't judge anyone who does that. But when you're making a Doom game, give us story. You can give us universe building, but you need to do it in bite-sized ways and in ways that are easy to follow. And I feel like my opinion is that this game made the story very difficult to follow, right? It was just so difficult to follow. All I wanted to do was kill shit, right? Now, I will give it the caveat. The story, linear story, as in terms of how this game goes, kill the 3 like hell priests, then kill the con maker, then kill the icon of sin. Nice and linear. Simple. Good. But the fact that it tried to fill in all this other shit in there was really just made it a little too difficult to follow what was going on in the main story. And I think Doom 2016 did a lot of things better. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Music in this game was super repetitive, was still fun, but for the most part, the music wasn't as good, wasn't as immersive. The actual sound design of the weapons, I feel like, was pretty similar. Maybe not like, I don't think it was atrocious. I don't know. I don't know. The sound design for the weapons was acceptable. There's nothing that really stuck out to me in regards to like, sound design for the weapons. The music for the game just kind of felt meh. Like it just felt really meh. It felt bleh. It felt repetitive. Was it fun? Yes. And at the end of the day, when you're playing a game, you want it to be fun. But if you're in my brain and you're trying to like, you're immersed in this and all this kind of stuff, you want that music to not necessarily be repetitive. You want it to always be pulling you in closer to the game. Or in the case of something like this, you want it to pull you closer into the battles, closer into the combat. You want to feel immersed in that combat. Like, you want to feel like you can absolutely positively wreck. And my problem was that it didn't. My problem was that, the first few times you get that battle music, like, yeah, this is good, you get pulled in, and then you start to realize towards the end that I've heard this before. It's the same fucking battle music. Like, I'm going into combat. I'm killing this guy. Cool. Whoop-de-fucking-do, Like, you don't feel into the battle. And that was... I'm not blaming my sucking on that. I want to. I really, really, really want to, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I don't know. The music for for combat just kind of sucked towards the end. It just felt really repetitive. There were still some moments of goodness. Yeah, and overall story wise, I mean, I'm going to. I feel like if I keep going, I'm just going to repeat myself. The truth is that I really enjoyed this game. This is a fun game. I would recommend this game, even. I would go as far to recommend it. But I wish and I hope that Bethesda in their next Doom game, they haven't announced it yet, but they will eventually, fix this. Fix this game a lot. Like, do whatever it takes. You need to give us the bite-sized, good, linear, simple-ish story of Doom 2016. You give us the combat mechanics, the movement mechanics of Doom Eternal, and give us back the great music of Doom 2016. Maybe it got repetitive in Doom 2016, but I never noticed. Like, everything about that game, despite Doom 2016's kind of not refined combat, wasn't as refined. Despite it not being as refined, I was pulled into combat a lot more with the music. Like, I never had any issues with the music in Doom 2016. It fucking bothers me in Doom Eternal. Like, it just doesn't sound as good. Period. Like, it tries to... It's like the knockoff that's trying so damn hard that it's like, yeah, this sounds right, but there's just something that you can't put your finger on. And then eventually that thing you can't put your finger on becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just drives you mad, and you end up going, this sucks. And that's where I feel about the music. But ultimately, this is a great game. I like Doom 2016 more, but it is what it is. Huh. Ah! Ah! Okay, that's good. At least they had some humor, and that humor makes it all better. I forgive him for everything. I forgive him for the repetitive music. I forgive him for trying to put too much story in. That right there was beautiful. I love that kind of humor.